Hi future CPA, so I'm back at it helping brand new CPA candidates get started with the CPA exam process. And I had an email that really I probably get this email once or twice every single week. And it's from this guy. His name is Christian, and basically he said, "Hey Brian, I've got an exam scheduled for January 15th, which is about 3 months from now. I plan on starting to study on Monday. I'm terrified. I don't really know how to study, as I never really had to do it for an exam of this scale. And, I'd really rather have the best chance possible to pass, because I have never been a very good test taker." And he signed up for FAR, and he's just curious in what Ultimate CPA Exam Guide, which is my mentorship program, if that's what he needs to pass with Wiley CPA Excel, which is the CPA review course that he's using. And, he's super nervous and anxious, and he really doesn't want to mess this up, because he just wants to pass the CPA exam. So every single CPA candidate that I meet, they're just like this when they start the process. They have no idea what to expect, and it's very overwhelming. And they just want to make sure that they're studying efficiently. So we actually just started a chat conversation here, and basically he was curious if what I teach is going to help him use Wiley CPA Excel efficiently. And so just FYI, I do bundle my mentorship program with Wiley CPA Excel. So I am their trusted mentorship program for their students. And so basically we've got a deal right now where it's $16.99 to get not only their Platinum CPA review course, but also my Ultimate CPA Exam Guide mentorship course at essentially no additional cost. So $16.99 will get you lifetime access to both their flagship course and my mentorship program. So why is Christian so overwhelmed when he is just getting ready to start? Well, if you look at Wiley CPA Excel, and this goes for all CPA review courses, the amount of content that you have to get through is incredibly overwhelming. So you just start looking, and CPA Excel, they do a great job of breaking things down into bite-sized pieces so that you're constantly going from video lecture to your textbook to answering questions, and you just get into a good routine of getting through the information. But when you break things down into bite-sized lessons, it creates hundreds of little lessons, and it can get very overwhelming very quickly. So how does having a mentorship program like Ultimate CPA Exam Guide help you avoid this overwhelm? And how am I going to help Christian as he progresses through his first section? So the first thing that I recommend is first to go to mycpamentor.com. So basically this is an application that you can fill out to really assess whether you're a good fit, but also I'm going to give away some free mentorship right off the bat. So basically when you go to mycpamentor.com, I'll ask you a series of questions. So I'll be like, hey, how serious about the CPA exam process are you? How do you learn best? So what is the one thing that you really focus on when you're trying to learn new information? So are you more of a classroom learner? Do you prefer to self-study, or are you more of a hybrid of both of those? And then we address test anxiety. So are you somebody who gets anxious around an exam? And the majority of people say yes here. Then I'll ask, where are you in the CPA exam process? So obviously Christian, he's brand new to the process, but you might be somebody who needs help recovering from failure, or maybe you're somebody who is currently studying and just want to study more efficiently and so forth. So just select the right option for you. When are you going to start the process? What industry are you in? How many hours and stuff are you working per week? What CPA review course do you have? Maybe you don't have one yet. And then, are you somebody who needs all the extra help you can get, or do you feel like you're not really somebody who needs help, and so forth. So basically, based on your responses, we're going to provide you with some free mentorship. It's going to help you determine what you need to be doing at this exact moment. So it's kind of like a free snapshot mentorship session for you. But then we'll also assess whether you're a good fit for our program as well. And so based on this information, we're going to be able to teach Christian how to study a little bit smarter. With the free mentorship application, it's not specific to your CPA review course. So if that's something that you need, you want somebody to literally hold your hand through the whole process, if you want to have a community, then then obviously Ultimate CPA Exam Guide, which is my program here, is going to be right for you. So if Christian enrolls in the program, then the first thing I'm going to recommend he do is basically assess if he really needs 3 months to study for financial accounting and reporting. Because again, with Wiley, there is a ton of information, but the longer that you take to get through this information, the more time you give yourself, the harder it's going to be to recall everything. And again, if you know about any of my study methods that I recommend, the number one thing that I recommend is that you implement study loops. And this is so crucial with CPA Excel, but also all the other CPA review courses as well, because there's a ton of information. And with CPA Excel, you really need to stay on top of things. And if you start falling behind, that's okay. That's the number one concern that I hear from people, is that they're like, oh, I just keep feeling like I'm falling behind. And I feel like CPA Excel's system of tracking things, it's a little bit too aggressive. And so when you do give yourself enough time, and when you study with high intensity, you basically are going to be able to catch up, but you just have to stick with it. And so what I recommend, and what the study loop process looks like, is that as you're going through these bite-sized lessons, you need to continually not only move forward, but also loop back and start reviewing everything. So thankfully, with their test bank, they have an amazing set of analytics where you can literally isolate specific topics based on the bite-size level, and then create practice quizzes over those. There's also flashcards, all sorts of metrics that you can use to track your progress, to identify where you're struggling, what topics you need to be focusing your time on. So again, it's all part of having a process. And this software, all those CPA review courses that are out there, they're complex pieces of software, and there's going to be a high learning curve. And so that's really the advantage of having a mentor who understands how these softwares work, is that when you have a CPA exam mentor, they're going to teach you, give you an unfair advantage over somebody who doesn't have a mentor, in terms of teaching you how to use the program, what structure to take. If you are falling behind, is that going to be an issue, or is it not an issue at all, and so forth. So that's the sort of things that we try to provide. And again, that's all in the training we have. And so there's basically, I'll teach you my philosophy on study loops and study funnels, which is the final review piece. So study funnels are the first several weeks, and then the final 10 to 14 days is where you tie everything together with the final review study funnel. And so to teach you even further, and to literally hold your hand through this whole process, I have a study workflow video for CPA Excel, for Yeager, Becker, Roger, and all those different CPA review courses, because I understand how complex these pieces of software are. And what's cool is that I have a private community of CPA candidates who are all using these CPA review courses, and they're actually teaching me how to use these programs every day as they continue to evolve and improve. So this is something that's very important. You want a group of people who are using the same CPA review course as you, who can teach you how to use it even more efficiently. And so, these videos, they're 56 minutes long. I literally dive into the course themselves, and then teach you how to study with them based on your specific learning style. So very valuable stuff, and it really helps people, give them confidence, and it helps to motivate them to get through this material as quickly as possible. So again, you don't have to enroll in my program. You can take the free mentorship application over at mycpamentor.com, and I can explain to you how the process works, what you need to be doing right now to improve how you study, how to get started with the exam, and just hopefully reduce your test anxiety. Because at the end of the day, I just want to help as many CPA candidates as possible, and not everyone needs the hand-holding that my mentorship program gives you, but the majority of folks that I talk to, they really want somebody to be there to teach them, to coach them, to motivate them, and just to be their cheerleader along the way. And that's why that's why CPA Excel has bundled my program with theirs, because they see the value in having somebody like myself who has experience failing and then overcoming the CPA exam to help their students study even more efficiently, understand how to use their program, and a whole lot more. So hopefully you can check out my mentorship application over at mycpamentor.com, and then we can start chatting a little bit and seeing if you'd be a good fit. So I hope this helps. Hope it helps you understand the process, and that there's no need to be overwhelmed, and that there are shortcuts that you can take to learn how to study and pass the CPA exam. So that's all I got for today. If you've got questions, feel free to shoot me an email at brian@cpaexamguide.com. I love making little videos like this, trying to teach people and show people what is out there, the types of support that's out there to really help you optimize and speed up the speed that you pass this exam. So hope you have a great weekend, and hopefully we'll chat soon. Thanks.